Hey guys, welcome to sprint 92 for YakShaver. We got a lot done this sprint, so let's jump right into it. So the sprint goal for this week was to improve the YakShaver desktop default prompt to include some deduplication and also temper consistency, which is done. And also get 3 canary test passes, one from Hark, one from Gert, and one from Yuli. And that was done this sprint as well.
Can you bump up the font just a bit?
I can increase the zoom a little bit, yep.
Yeah, thanks.
So the timesheets means that everyone's back in the team and onto the PBIs. So the first one is the sprint goal. So YakShaver desktop, improving the YakShaver desktop prompt. So Tina, do you want to give us a bit of what you've done to kind of help make better PBIs?
Yeah, so basically what happened is that there was some updates in the prompt engineering and of course the template. So those two work hand in hand into getting better issues like created. And also one key thing that was also added in there is that it's going to look into the issues, right, and the PBIs, and if there's if the new YakShave that was done has a potential duplicate, it's going to look for it and it's going to comment on that already existing issue and CC the original creator of that issue. Yeah, so we're going to have all those in there. That's basically it.
Cool. Any comments on
and
that?
Also emoji has been added back into the titles. Yeah.
Nice. Any questions on that? If not, I'll move on. So the next one was a bug that we had on the portal. So Baba, do you want to talk about what happened and how we fixed it?
Yeah, sure. So on portal dashboard, on recent shaves card, as a null value was being passed to Next.js link component, and Next.js link component was throwing a null exception. And I worked with Willow together to fix this issue, and Willow helped to upload source maps into production side, and it helped us to identify where this null error is coming from, and it has been fixed. Yeah. So currently, if there is null values, then it will show work item title instead of work item URL.
Nice. Any questions on that? No. I'll talk about the canary testing. So we had Hawk, Yuli, and Gert do some testing, and we got some feedback from them. So Hawk had a lot of UX related issues, but overall no blockers. Yuli had no blockers as well. Let me just scroll all the way down to his one. So we had Yuli here, so he gave a test pass with a bunch of UX issues, which is what Michaela has been doing this sprint as well. So improving it, fixing all these issues in the Figma design so that we can implement them as well. And Gert had a few different issues. He had a few issues on his map due to permissions, but that has been fixed. And yeah, those have been implemented already. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a verbal test please from him because he's on leave. So we just presume he's test passed. So we close this issue, but he can reopen it if he finds more issues. But Stephen and I had a chat with him today, and he said other than those two, he hasn't had any issues since.
You said that you weren't able to get a verbal test pass from Gert, but you spoke to him today.
So I wasn't able to get him to write it in the PBI.
But if you can say it, you can write it for him.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Just because he can't write it, you can do it for him.
I believe that's what was done, right? I think
Oh.
what wasn't done
Yeah.
is because he's on leave, he wasn't actually able to retest it, retest the app. So we just said,
Right.
we've fixed your blocking issues. And he said, all right, cool. And that was it.
Okay. Just for audio, it's better if you turn your head to the mic.
Okay.
That's much clearer. Yep. Thanks. Now I did notice that Hark and Yuli specifically gave plenty of feedback in typing. Why aren't they using YakShaver for their feedback?
That is a good. That's a good point. So Hark
I
did
thought they
create PBIs. Yeah, Hark did create PBIs.
Oh yeah.
So he shaved it
Okay,
with
so-
Stephen.
Yeah. So he shaved them all with Stephen. Good. And then there's all this extra typing underneath. So you
I
needed.
think Yuli did that. I watched him go through the canary test for a part of it. I think he did it because he was slowly going through the canary test, doing one at a time. So he was just listing dot points that he found. Otherwise, it would have been one really long recording.
Oh right. Yuli's not in this meeting.
No, he
yet
had to
go.
leave at 5 p.m.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe you should start a bit earlier so he can be in this meeting.
We started
but-
at 2 o'clock. There was a lot to talk about.
Wow, that is a long meeting. Okay. So did you do many yak shows during this meeting?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
3 or 4, I think.
Wow. Okay. When you do this feedback, would it be better if you got the feedback from Hark, you saw all these things and you go, hold on, let's fix a couple of these before we give it to Gert, and let's fix a couple of things from Gert before we give it to Yuli. Like each version is slightly better. Would you agree that's a better approach than sending it out to 3 people?
Is that not what we did?
So
Or
yeah,
did we do them all in parallel?
No, we did one after the other. So we did it sequentially. So after Harks, we had a few issues, and you can see one of them is already completed. So we do pick up the issues from that, the ones that are easy to fix.
Okay. So shouldn't have Gert been before Yuli?
The order was Hark, then Yuli, then Gert.
Okay. All right. I would have done the other way, but that's fine. So each person, there's a couple of days between them, and you did fix a few things. So each person got a newer version.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. That's perfect. All right. Great.
The last thing I want to mention is the GPT 5.2 chat update for YakShaver 1.0, so the Teams version. Stephen, do you want to give a bit of context as to what has been changed?
Yeah, so for the old YakShaver Teams version, we were using GPT 4.0. But now we had a upgrade to GPT 5.2 chat model. I had a test through some people, Yuli, Luis, and Rick, and they found they found the consistent experience with the old version, but we might be able to get cheaper rate per token because GPT 5.2 is cheaper, but we still need to conduct a experiment to see how many tokens actually GPT 5.2 consumes that shaves the same video with comparing to GPT 4.0. So the total adds up if GPT 5.2 is cheaper. Any questions?
It's going to be a little bit of
If there are no questions, I'll move on. Move back to the email. Any questions on any of the PBIs here before I move on? If not, I'll move on. Baba, take it away on the code coverage.
Yeah, thank you, Luis. Code coverage remains same at 28.2%. And for about the production deployments, we had 2 production deployments for Teams app and 15 production deployments for desktop app. Back to you.
How many?
15
15 deployments.
for YakShaver desktop app.
That's a lot. Okay.
Dependable.
Well, we had about 15 PBIs done, right? So it's one for each.
Okay. What are these
There's a few
dependable
dependable
ones?
ones.
Yeah, some of them are coming from dependable updates.
So every time, so they're doing all that in each one. So each time that comes, you get a new version.
Yes.
Okay.
And Stephen, you go through the health.
Yeah, so for the YakShaver Health, we had 100% availability again, as always. And also we can see on the first chat, there's a couple of failed requests. I had a look at the pics. They are all from the web scraper, trying to find our robots.txt. So I think we could ignore this for now. And if
what's the difference between the first one and the second one?
the first one is for last 7 days, and the second one is for last 30 days.
I think he means
Horizontally or vertically?
I mean horizontally.
Oh, the second. Luis, I think you have better
So these
knowledge
are
of this.
5xx errors, and these ones are 4xx errors.
Then
Right.
XX errors and 4X errors. Is that what you said?
They're 500 errors and 400
500
errors.
400
Oh, 500 errors and 4. Oh, sorry. Okay, maybe that should be in the title if you can put it there.
Yeah, I can make that change.
Yeah, that'd be clearer.
Sure.
Yeah. So next, let's move to the leaderboard. Tino's still on the top of the leaderboard, and then we have Gordon and Tiago on the second and third. Let me get it back to you, Luis.
Yep. Will can you go through the roadmap, please?
Yeah, sure. So for our epic, the progress is 86% now because we have added some more PBIs due to the canary testing. And yeah, we can scroll down to check the backlog stats. So for YakShaver, we have 41 new PBIs and in the last 30 days, and 80% of them are labeled with YakShaver, and 23 are done. And for YakShaver desktop app, we have 65 new PBIs, and 91% of them are labeled, and we have completed 38 PBIs. Yeah, that's all for the backlog stats.
Thank you for that, Willow. Tom, can you go through R&D, AI tools, and tenant stats?
Yep, Tina did a little bit of research and development work on our YakShaver desktop app by prompt improving and adding some deduplication information into the prompt, as well as fixing up the title and emoji formatting there. In terms of the AI tools, there has been no changes. So far, before I move to the 10 sets, any questions on that item?
No, all good.
Very good. So the tenant stats from last week. This week we have a total number of tenants that is 45. Total number of tenants that completed their setup is still 4.
Sorry,
Total...
is this the exact same stats I saw a week ago?
Which
Are
one?
you sure you've updated these stats?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's not frequent changes there.
So you're telling me
Well, you can see down the bottom, last week we only had 35 team shaves and 9 MCP shaves, and this week we had 100 team shaves and 50 MCP shaves.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Can you bold this week, because often people have this week as the first one, but you need to. I think I gave you guys a task to get this copied from the UI. Is that right? So this should be coming from the UI. You should be able to, yeah.
We have a PBI for that for next sprint.
Correct.
Okay.
So for
now we have a whole bunch of tenants. Every week we should be trying to touch base with them. You know, and have we got Discord working?
Discord is working, yeah.
I think we have a server, yeah.
Yes.
is Discord working fine? Is anyone like, have you got the same structure of Tina? Are you trying to get traffic there?
No, I don't think so. There's not been emphasis on that.
Okay. Who can be the Discord person?
I can.
I can too. If need multiple person for that.
Yeah, Adam, I'm happy to take it.
So Lewis and Stephen can
Yep.
join the Discord and look after it.
On that note as well, we did send out a few emails, right, Lewis? I think we need
Yes,
some
over the holidays.
escalation. Yes, we need some escalation plan. Maybe we sent a second catch-up email out, but then what is the escalation plan if either they don't respond or
Yeah.
ignore it? So we probably need to figure something out there as well.
Yeah. Stephen, can you just write down send follow-up email and I'll make a PBI for that. And then I can
I'll note
work
it down.
on following up with them.
Yeah. And as mentioned, we have in this sprint a PBI to get the tenant stats from the app much easier, because at the moment it's a little bit of a hassle, especially to get the shapes between the Teams and MCP app. And yeah, we're gonna fix that as part of this PBI, and then we can copy and paste it much easier.
Okay. Just a general question. I know you've now got the MCP version working and it's quite good. It felt like you started afresh and that you weren't using much of what was in the old version. Is there any good lessons that you would do differently now, or was it the right approach to just start from scratch and not try to put things into, I don't know, the portal or an API, and like having it shared and continually used, like both versions used?
That's a very good question. We have a PBI down the track to utilize some of the legacy YakShaver pipeline, because Gert mentioned that he had some issues giving access to GitHub MCP to his account, and to avoid that, we could potentially utilize the YakShaver app that we created as part of the legacy version. This way, the company just needs to give access to the YakShaver app, and then with the desktop app, we can create a custom MCP. Let's call it SSW YakShaver MCP server. And this way, you don't have to give the MCP server your access to your own account, and we can utilize some of that pipeline. And in terms of rewriting it as a desktop app, yeah, I think that we did it from scratch helped a ton, especially because it works completely different than the first one with the MCP support. Does that answer your question, Adam?
Okay.
Yeah, cool. I'll move on to the Copilot stats. Tino, if you could give us a summary of it.
Hold on. Is this possibly accurate? Where's Willow, Tino? Like, where is this?
This is on Teams. I think
Is
Yuli didn't
this
take a
accurate?
screenshot of the whole thing.
Yeah, somehow we're not in there.
And somehow you don't notice. Okay. All right. I will fix it. Don't worry. Just keep going.
Thank
All
you.
right. So
Can you mention me
Yeah.
someone?
Okay. So for the Copilot stats, we have Sydney Ballroom at the very top. So we have Caleb and Rosa Michaela in there, beating Lewis for first place. And so we got Lewis in the runner-up, and then Tom Iwanski on third place. Okay,
Zoom out a little
so
bit.
yeah. So for the Copilot, main achievement from Copilot is that in the last sprint, it was YakShaver improvements and stabilization. So first one is default prompt update merge, improved the duplication and template consistency, achieving, wow, and that's they're achieving 3 canary test passes. That should be on its very own bullet point. And then UI and UX enhancements, login screen facelift, and full Figma designs for the wizard UX. We also have bug fixes, portal dashboard, no URL error resolved, workflow resilience improved for YouTube metadata updates. Technical upgrades migrated to GPT 5.2 model and added persistent OAuth for GitHub MCP and created a local database schema for activity tracking. So in short, better prompts, smoother UX, critical bug fixes, and key technical improvements. These are basically summarizes what has been done for the last sprint. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good.
Tina, was AI accurate? Can you trust it?
Yes, yes, that was pretty accurate. Yeah.
Okay.
But achieving 3 canary test passes should not be in the default prompt update merge bullet point. They messed that up.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was all good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you for that, Tina.
Lewis, I've given you a new image too.
All right, thank you. First, I'll get Rick to go through the sprint retro of what went well.
Okay, thanks, Lewis. So in the retrospective, what went well? Many people there are lots of PBI done this sprint, and many people likes the UI improvement done by Michaela. And we had 3 test passes from Canary testing, and we got lots of great feedback. And yeah, so I'll hand over to Callum, talk about what didn't go well.
Yeah, so what didn't go well? Obviously, Lewis pointed out a lot of UX issues due to code signing. So it looks like an unsafe app, which is obviously not cool. And we've got the sysadmins on the case fixing that up. There's not too much we can do about it yet. We're blocked on that, but we're hopefully resolving it soon. And my feedback was Hark used the old YakShaver to report issues in the new YakShaver, which I thought was back to front. So I've suggested when people are canary testing and they're reporting issues in YakShaver, they should use the new YakShaver to do it rather than the old one.
Eating your own dog food, yes.
Exactly. And Tom said a lot of logic built into the UI components on the desktop app. Basically, we've got a lot of tech debt in the new desktop app, and a lot of refactoring is required to simplify that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's something that we're going to be working on next sprint. And then what needs to improve? So Rick has suggested the OAuth 2 flow must be fixed so that the client secret is not exposed, which I agree with, and must be done ASAP especially before we roll out to the public, but ideally a long time before that. And that's, I think, our priority next sprint. Tom said portal pipeline should build source maps to make it easier to debug. I think you had to sort of Willow manually assisted with the pipeline to fix that issue this sprint. And I guess it'd be easier if it was just part of the pipeline. And Tom said, build the UI as you need, then refactor it. Make them generic, reusable components, and KISS. And I suggested a dry KISS is optimal as well. And that's it. Any questions on the retro?
No, that's excellent. Well, one question. Tom, did you actually
Yes.
see the signs where upstairs was closed today?
Yes, I did.
And then you just ignored them?
Yes, I did.
Mm,
Because I have fresh air and natural light here, which downstairs is not available.
yeah, and then you still need to talk to me. If I close upstairs, it's closed. Can't just ignore
Understand.
things. Now, Callum, do you think if you work in a dog food factory, you would be
Yep.
eating the dog food?
Absolutely. If the dog food wasn't fit for human consumption, I wouldn't be happy to stamp my face on the can.
Excellent. All right, good to know.
Onto the next sprint. So sprint 93, the sprint goal will be for each YakShaver team member to find an SSW employee to test the YakShaver desktop app. So there should be 7 Canary tests next week. And also attempt to use an AI agent on a PBI they're working on. So we have a few PBIs in here. So we have some new ones. I think these are repeated. Let me delete those. So we have these from the Canary testing. So some feedback, which they want to be able to see the version of the YakShaver desktop easily, because that is part of our feedback reports that we asked them to put their version as well. And just some general UI improvements. And we have this large one, which Rick, maybe you're going to give us more context about what this is about.
Yep. So I mentioned in the retro that we need to preventing exposing the client secret on the desktop app. So by fixing that, we will use authorization code plus PKCE. So that flow wouldn't require a client secret. Hopefully, that will fix the problem.
Okay. Any questions or feedback on the PBIs for next sprint? Nothing. I'll move on to the Latino, go through the Copilot summary.
All right, so the main focus for the next sprint is fixing OAuth security. So eliminate exposed client secrets by implementing secure flows, PKC, and backend for front-end worker. And refactoring workflow progress panel, move logic from UI to backend for cleaner state management and scalability. Additional UX improvements show app version visibility and minor UI tweaks. And then we have sprint goal, which is to complete more Canary tests with internal users to validate stability before wider rollout. And that is basically what has been put in and the sprint goal. That is correct. And of course, we also added another one is to attempt to use AI agents on PBI to work on. Now that has been added as a sprint goal after the recording that we did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty accurate on that. Any questions?
No, all good.
All good. This video will be on the YakShaver YouTube channel. Thank you guys for joining me in this meeting. I'll see you next week. Thank you all.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.